How you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, have a different video here today. I've done a lot of, I guess, heavy political type stuff here lately, with my most recent videos being about like the April predictions and all the kind of geopolitical madness that came up in that. We've also done a lot on the 2025 economy, Trump's tariffs, the United States possibly becoming an oligarchy, or any of those kinds of things that people have requested recently. So those are the things that we've been stuck on here for a minute. So today I wanted to come here and just change it up, be a little weird, do a little something different. And so thank you, Tom, for this video idea. You know who you are. You brought this idea to me here recently, and so we're going to be looking into this little handy dandy sticky note for today. Alien disclosure. Alien disclosure. Is alien disclosure coming? Specifically, the person who requested this reading said that there's some people out in the, I guess, alien UAP UFO community that have been talking about the possibility that aliens are coming in 2026, like whether they're coming to be helpful or invade or something like that, some kind of a coming of aliens in 2026. Also, there's some speculation in that community of some sort of major event happening in 2026 or 2027. So I've got that down as a question too. And then really a basic core question that a lot of people have is, will we ever have full alien disclosure? That's one that just keeps circling around. That's kind of the $1 million question here, isn't it? So I figured today we would take a look into aliens and get away from some of the usual stuff that we talk about here, do a little something different, a little weird. So let's go ahead and take a peek. I am a licensed mental health clinician, as well as a spiritual intuitive, and in these videos we do take a look at the tea with the tarot. Don't let that scare you off. Got a good track record here on the channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the cards over there. So right here, move this microphone right here. Got Penelope here, and we're all in our matching reds. I'm just trying to do things to keep my vibe up, okay? I gotta have silly little eyeballs on my microphone and stuff like that, and match it to my outfits and lipstick and all that kind of stuff, because, it's good to keep a little bit of a lighthearted energy when going to read any kind of topic, because the more you're trying to kind of stay lifted and light, better you're staying in your connection here. So got my handy dandy sticky note right here, got the cards right here, gonna dive right on in. As usual, this is all alleged, just my interpretation, okay? We're just gonna see whatever it is that we are allowed to know about this at the time of filming this, in case that becomes useful, relevant, pertinent. It is Thursday, April 17th. So Thursday, April 17th at the time of filming this, in case that becomes important. You never know. Oh, Thursday, April 17th, 2025. Maybe I should say that too. Since we're talking about things that specifically ask about 2026 and 2027. So, alrighty. Let's take a peek here, see what we can find out. So, first one, are aliens coming in 2026? Whether it's to help us out, whether it's to invade in some malicious, terrible way, is there going to be some sort of like alien coming or something in 2026? So let's just see whatever we can know about this. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, so this is interesting here. I always look into context. I like to kind of have the context of these situations. So the things that make me wonder, about the actual potential of some sort of alien coming in 2026 would be these three cards here. The reason being is because, first of all, this is a Wheel of Fortune card. It is a positive card, so I am happy to see that if we are looking at some sort of like alien energy coming upon us in 2026, this being in an upright position makes me feel better. It doesn't make me feel like some sort of, hellish takeover by like some monstrous breed of alien and some kind of, I don't know, like, Men in Black scenario kind of stuff, Independence Day scenario kind of stuff. Like, this doesn't give me that vibe, thank goodness. So it's a positive omen. It's also interesting because this card has a lot of like symbolism on it, with this being the Wheel of Fortune, with this being about, the fates back in mythology that are pulling the cords and cutting the cords for people's lives and talking about destiny. We've got angels here. We've got a sphinx here. We've got, a lion here. We've got all kinds of winged creatures. Like this is just kind of a loaded card. So it's just interesting, especially because, and I haven't looked into this with any like big amount of detail. Y'all know I like to read relatively cold or lukewarm on this channel, but I will say, when I was trying to get questions for, Tom told me Alien Disclosure 2026, and he mentioned someone named Chris Bledsoe. And so I typed in, what questions are good to ask about 2026 Alien Disclosure Chris Bledsoe. And all I was reading about it was that they said there was some sort of a 2026 or 2027 prediction, and that it was about aliens, but that it had a religious aspect to it. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, well, this is interesting that, you're seeing all of this kind of stuff here, because if we're now blending the idea of like aliens and, religious overtones or something like that, then this is just an interesting card to see, because it's kind of running the gamut of all of that, I guess, spiritual and or fantastical type of stuff. So curious to see that card here. I also see, like I said, these two cards here make me wonder, because this is a card about, getting on your horse and charging on into battle. So it is a coming of sorts. It is a card about arriving somewhere in a successful type of way. And this is a card here where it's like someone has the world in their hands and we're just holding the world in our hands, staring off, and thinking of the possibilities. Sky's the limit of all the different possibilities. So these kinds of cards could potentially get in line for some sort of, alien thing in 2026. I could see that here, in terms of where that's going. However, I haven't yet received the star card here, which is my like quintessential, if I'm doing any kind of readings about aliens, extraterrestrials, anything along those lines, I look for the star card. That is the card that comes up and helps me feel like, okay, surefire, guaranteed, that's what we're looking at here, that's what we're reading on here, and that has not come up here yet. So I do feel like 2026 is going to bring something. I do get that bringer energy. I do get that beyond the scope of what we consider here, like, again, all of this kind of mythology and winged, religious overtones, and the fact that this almost looks kind of like a devil down here and stuff like that. Like, I do feel a sense of a presence or something coming in 2026. I don't know if I would interpret that to be alien per se, or at least how a lot of us think when we think of aliens. So I don't know on that. With these other cards, Empress card in reverse, Knight of Cups in reverse, Nine of Swords in reverse. these cards to me feel like they're kind of away from the actual core question, giving kind of context about 2026 and kind of the status of us, like where we are in 2026, that would bring about any kind of presence arriving in any way. So it shows us in a situation where it's like we're not able to sow good seeds as well. We're having a hard time bringing positivity into the world, and this is like moving from, simple basic anxiety, depression, despair into having like some hardcore issues. So it's just showing that in 2026 there's going to be some hardcore issues going on in the world, and that's not necessarily to be scary or fear mongering here. In fact, I think most of us watching this are probably not totally surprised by that, because we've had a lot of rough things happening over recent years. It hasn't been the easiest of times just in recent years in general. In fact, as I was saying that, literally, as I was saying that, I just looked down. You saw me just look down as I was talking. I have no reason why I would look down or anything. It just did, because I just did. And the ticker tape, here on my filming thing was 11 minutes and 11 seconds. 11:11, 11:11. So I just think that that is very interesting numbers sign here. And the the interesting part about that is the awakening code. That is the awakening number. It is about elevating your consciousness, rising higher. So not thinking about fear porn and the despair and, oh no, that means the worst possible thing's gonna happen. That means thinking positively, thinking on the higher side of consciousness, waking up in a positive and good sense. That's a good thing. And so seeing that timestamp as we have these cards here, again, reiterating another way of making my point that I don't think that this message is intended to scare people. It's to show we're already in hard times. We're already having difficult things happen. And every year we feel like, it can't possibly get any harder. And it gets a little bit harder some kind of a way, whether that's because, inflation makes the economy worse, or, there's escalation in some sort of war somewhere here on the planet, or, any number of things like that, where it's like just another little thing happening and just another little thing happening, another little bit of icing on the cake to happen, that's challenging for us. So I don't think it's surprising that they're showing us those cards about 2026 being a very difficult year, and us, in our hearts, minds, whatever, kind of psychically sending out SOS signs to the universe, being like, hey, help. We need help. Whoever's listening and is willing to help, hey, I'm sending out those signs. So whether we're sending it out to the universe, whether we're sending it out to the God of our understanding, whether we're sending that out to extraterrestrials, it is getting sent out there somewhere. We are transmitting an SOS some kind of a way. And so it does look like, in some sense, there is some response to that in 2026. So it's interesting that they're wording it this way. That makes me feel like I cannot necessarily say that it is alien disclosure in 2026, or aliens coming, to help, or, they already cleared up, and I don't see an alien invasion. Not a real one anyway. I don't know if people are going to say there's one. I don't see a real one here. But I don't necessarily see like aliens coming to help, like, hey, we're going to land on Earth and shake your hand and partner with you or something like that. I don't necessarily see that. But I do see some sense of something, whether it's physical or whether it's energetic, coming as a result of how we are feeling and stuff in 2026. So that is interesting. That is an interesting way of putting that. This feels like it's segueing into the next question, which is, will there be some major event in 2026 or 2027 that apparently some folks in the alien disclosure type of community, again, UAP, UFO, whatever community, says that there may be some major event coming in 2026 or 2027. I did not even read into what they said that event would be. I don't know if they're saying that would be a disclosure event or something else, but let's take a look into that. So as I shuffle these up, I am going to remind everyone that there is a Perk Squad available if you are interested for extended videos for all kinds of various things, like your own Penelope here, by your name, your own emojis, having weekly forecasts every week to kind of know what's headed and coming our way on a week-by-week basis. Exclusive posts and videos and shout outs. So shout out to you, Tracy Morris, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. Happy to have you here. So shout out to you, Tracy Morris, and thank you for being a member. So lots of things over there in the Perk Squad. You can just click the join button down below or use the link in the description box if you are interested in becoming a member. And we also, on all of our live streams twice a month, we do some giveaways for memberships, for month-long memberships to the Perk Squad. So that's available there too. Alrighty. So I think we've gotten all shuffled up here. So in terms of major events in 2026 or 2027 related to this potential alien disclosure or anything extraterrestrial, or I don't know, whatever it's going to try to bring up here. Let's just see. Okay, so these are a bunch of interesting cards. This entire top row is making me like, okay. And then this entire bottom row as well. So if I'm just going to I think we're going to have to kind of rapid fire this one because this is kind of loaded. Here's a messenger card of, some painful situations coming down the pipeline in 2026 or 2027. These painful situations have to do with breaking up of partnerships, breaking up of alliances, could be in response to or about warring energies, because again, 5 of Wands here, this is kind of some fighting and things like that. So it would make sense here. It's like, oh, we're not on the same page anymore. We're not friends anymore. We're not, lovers anymore. We've had a breakup and now we're fighting. That energy coming through. The Strength card in reverse, all about weakness and our weak spots and things like that. And the Ace of Wands upright being like, okay, we've got to start on a new foot. We have to start on a new beginning. So it feels like, yeah, something in 2026 or 2027 does seem to, I don't want to use the words that just came to my mind, but I guess I have to, does seem to blow up some type of way, where it feels like there has to be a major change. And it's almost like a major change brings about a major change. That sounds weird. That sounds meta, but that's what this is feeling like. Like as if in 2026 or 2027, if there's some intensification in terms of alliances breaking down and, conflict energy rising to the point that it could create, worsening wars or new ones or things like that, that it feels like, okay, now that all of this is reaching a certain point, that point is becoming too much. And here's a new thing that is triggered by that. Like a new approach or a new steps or new actions that are taken to be like, okay, enough. We have to pivot. Enough. So I do see something major in 2026 or 2027. Again, I am not necessarily sold on the whole alien thing. Again, I'm not seeing our star card. Not that it's the only card that would be indicative of extraterrestrials in the tarot deck. But for me, me and my guides, we have some sort of an agreement that when we're talking about things that are supposed to rise to the level of aliens, that's the card I really need to see within a reading, which we still have more time to see. But I'm not seeing it yet. So I'm not entirely sure yet if this major event is related to a coming of aliens or disclosure of aliens. It just seems more like, now that these things have kind of culminated and climaxed across our world, we are hitting a bit of a snap point of some kind of pivot or shift into these new directions here. And so that for 2026 or 2027, I do see. Okay, so this is a very interesting reading that I'm literally asking about, like the whole reading I'm asking about aliens. And so far, we're just kind of beating around the bush of aliens and not pinpointing that yet. Like it's not necessarily coming up in that way yet. So this is very curious. Let me get shuffled up, and to bring it back to the point of aliens again, an attempt. The whole will we ever have full alien disclosure question. That question is quite literally, in every sense of the word, targeted to focus about aliens. So we should get a response about aliens, I do believe. I mean, don't get me wrong. This has been a lot of context, so this has been a lot of information nonetheless. It's just this isn't how I expected all of this to go. So let me start shuffling these up. And as I am shuffling these up, actually, I am reminded, our April predictions video, when we did those, I said that we were going to announce 2 giveaway winners for the month of April. And that is because, one, we always pick a giveaway winner to win a free 15-minute tarot reading from me every single monthly reading. So every time we do a January, a February, March, and April, yada, 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 we pick a winner for a 15-minute private tarot reading with me. But in April specifically, this is my birthday month. And so since this is my birthday month, I usually pick a giveaway winner to do a giveaway for my birthday as well. So this month we have 2 winners to pick. So I did, right before started filming this, I went to my little pick a winner tab and let it do its thing, and I recorded that. So as I am shuffling here, I'm going to go ahead and let it show that video of the 2 winners for this month of April, the one for my birthday and the one for the regular monthly giveaway. And for these 2 winners, whenever you are announced, just email me at BeasTalksAndTarot@gmail.com for you to kind of talk it out with me of how to redeem your prize. So just email me, and I can get you connected. So let's see who won right here. Okay, it's time to pick our 2 winners for this month. So I've got the word here written in, and let's see. First winner is XX Shorty 816. Congratulations! Yay! I like how you said had to pause the video yesterday, coming back to finish now. The B-roll is such a nice way to end videos. Cute little begging ass stinkers. May as well throw my hat in the ring while I'm here. Win. And you did. You won. So congratulations to you. And let's see who is our second winner. Second winner is Tara2 Goza 354. So yay, congratulations to you. You wrote win. Happy birthday. Thank you for all you do. Stay blessed. Aloha. So yay, thank you. And congratulations to you. Congratulations to both of our winners. Alrighty, congratulations to the 2 winners. Excited for y'all to be the winners this month. And of course, again, if y'all did not win this month, then we'll keep doing them every month. So stay tuned for the May 2025 predictions video, because we'll do another giveaway on that one. So congratulations to today's winners. And for those hoping to win in the future, there will be those opportunities. So I have gotten this fully shuffled up. Y'all saw that. And now we're going to get right into the big $1 million question. I guess I will take this. I was hoping it was going to be the star card of, will we ever have full alien disclosure? Let's see how they answer this one. Okay, wow. All right, so, y'all, I don't know what it is about the powers that be that really don't want us to have disclosure, but if y'all can peep this devil card right here, this is definitely like blocking it. And we've done previous readings on aliens, so if you're new here, there's been readings that we've done in the past on aliens. You can go to my playlists and find those. It's not that the cards have said there's no such thing in aliens or whatever. I've looked into this before, and things have come up about this idea of aliens or extraterrestrials or interdimensional beings is kind of how it comes up. It doesn't usually come up like, green people with big eyes walking around in the flesh. It usually comes up, talking more like something that feels interdimensional and not like fully physical or whatever. And that is kind of being described as aliens or extraterrestrials in the past. So that has come up in my readings as existing, as being real. But for whatever reason, I just can't seem to see that coming out. Like, this is like, yeah, we're gonna maybe get some dribbles of it. We're not gonna be fully iced out. So there might be some more pieces and hints that drop, like it has been happening. I feel like over the years we've had little, I guess, breadcrumbs of information or releases or things like that. So I see continued breadcrumbing, but not giving us what we want, not planting the seeds to kind of share, everything, have all of this come and bear fruit, tell the full story or whatever. This kind of blocking energy, hiding it, doing all of this kind of stuff to keep it away from us. And it seems like that's for negative or nefarious or selfish reasons. It doesn't seem like keeping the information from us is helpful to us. That's coming up as a devil card. It's like it's a damaging thing, or seen as a bad thing to withhold that information. Here is more of withholding information, not giving us these physical pinnacles here, not giving us the evidence and stuff that we need, to where we're just sitting here like, okay, I'm just waiting, lying down and waiting for stuff. So I really, I don't know what the alien disclosure community says, because again, I'm not necessarily a part of that community, haven't gone down any of these rabbit holes. I don't know if they say, yes, there is a time where full disclosure is going to happen. I don't know if any of them say that there is. I'm seeing not really, or at least not in terms of any of our lifetimes that would matter to us. Like, say there's alien disclosure, 400 years from now or something like that. The cards aren't going to tell me that, because that does not matter to like us, our children, or our grandchildren. That's just nowhere near happening. So it's like that, it's not relevant here. So I'm just, in terms of a time frame that has any relevance, do I see authentic, true, full alien disclosure that is, it's like the literal accurate truth? We can put a pin in that and trust that. I do not. Despite the fact that we've had all these readings on that they exist, I do not see that. So Frustrating. Let's see. Okay. Is there somewhere I can go to tie a bow in all of this? Let me think about that. As I shuffle these up, and think about one last question to pull on. As I do that, just going to remind everybody, if you'd like to book a private reading with me, then BeasTalksAndTarot.com. You can book a private reading with me. Also, Reiki Energy healing for anybody that wants a cleansing, clearing, tune up there. Also, intuitive healing sessions for anybody that just wants to de-stress, let go of stuff from their past, figure out a way to move forward and kind of get where they want to go in life. I can partner with you and help you with that. Also, if you'd like to learn to read the cards the way I read the cards, then tarot tutoring is on my website as well. So all of those things, BeasTalksAndTarot.com. Happy to have you. Go on over there and check it out. So, I'm sufficiently shuffled up here as I drop a card. Please say it's the star card. No. Okay. In fact, this is the wish card in reverse, as in, that's not what I wanted, kind of a card. And I'm like, yeah, correct. That isn't what I wanted. I wanted to see the star card. But okay. So in terms of the last thing here, what I want to ask, the first two questions, when I asked about aliens coming in 2026, it was a strange answer that kind of talked about things like a presence or something, even if it's an energetic presence coming, but not necessarily confirmatory on aliens. When I asked about a major event in 2026 or 2027 related to aliens, it looked like it was something that was like, yes, some major stuff coming, but not necessarily alien in nature or things like that. And this whole time there's been this weird kind of tie between connection between the discussion about aliens and the discussion about something beyond that, like whether it was something with religious overtones or whether it was something that's just some sort of energy, whether it's like a spiritual energy or an interdimensional energy or something like that. There's some kind of a strange like crossover or blending or something going on here when we're trying to talk specifically about aliens, and the content here keeps kind of going a bit beyond that. So I am just gonna ask, like, what can we know about why we are seeing that here? Why is that happening? Why is that coming up? Is there some sort of a connection there, an overlap, a correlation, something like that would behoove us to know why this is happening this way? I just find that to be completely curious. It took me off guard entirely, and I just kind of want to know about it. So we're going to take a peek into that as our final question here. Let's see. All right. Okay. So, the way that I am interpreting this in terms of, connections or things like that is because here we're getting a lot of like emotional energy here. Even this card is kind of an emotional card in and of itself, and yet we're getting two physical cards in reverse. These are our Pentacles cards. They're about the physicality, and they're coming up in reverse. And I think the reason for this is that, again, when a lot of people are talking about aliens, they're thinking about, classic stories around Roswell, New Mexico and things like that, where they're picturing physical embodied beings that you see in movies and stuff. Again, green big eyes or gray big eyes or, stuff like that. And this is showing that in terms of this conversation about aliens, presences coming in 2026 and 27, any type of disclosure or whatever, like that all of these things are revolving around entities, beings, energies that are not physical in the way that we think of them as being physical. They're not embodied in the way that we think of them as being embodied in this 3D, corporeal form. So I think that that's one reason why they're dodgy about how this is being answered. It's being answered in kind of a different way than I had expected, because it seems that the guides are trying to ensure that we are differentiating the information here from this idea of some physical formed things that come down. I've even heard people say things like there's different kinds of aliens, like I've heard people talk about these things called reptilians or something that are like, like reptile people, lizard people or something in physical form and stuff like that. It looks like they're just trying to get away from this idea of physical formed alien beings for right now, as it relates to these kinds of questions of things coming in 2026 or major events happening in 2026 and 2027, stuff like that. They're wanting to get away from that. So then I'm going to put these two to the side right now so we can get to these four that are more emotional. With these more emotional types of cards, this feels like they're saying that the energies that are coming that could potentially be considered alien or extraterrestrial or interdimensional or whatever, that they are, it's energies responding to this emotionality. So again, this sense of like whatever in 2026, how they were mentioning things being, rough enough that people are putting out this signal being like, enough is enough. Come on, please help somebody do something. Gosh, and that we're kind of sending out the SOS signals in a mental and emotional kind of way. And so what is answering that? Things that I guess can receive messages in mental and emotional ways. So we're sending out those SOS calls in non-physical ways, and we're getting non-physical responses back in 2026 or 7. That's what I am interpreting here. Our cup spilling over with emotion, us trying to find the silver linings, the fighting and everything going on, and we're trying to get away from that and drop the baggage and move on. It feels like, again, the like energy matching the like energy. We put it out this way, it gets received that way by beings that speak or communicate on that wavelength. So I do sense this coming of energy of sorts in 2026 or 2027 here. I do get that here. It doesn't seem like physical alien forms coming, but it does feel like some kind of, again, multi-dimensional, interdimensional, non-physical forms of something that can come in energetically some sort of a way. And I have not seen anything in here to show that be a negative thing. The only time something negative came up in this reading today was the devil card that came up talking about us on Earth and the people that are kind of like calling the shots and controlling us. I didn't see negativity coming up about any, other beings. So, I mean, I'm happy to not have seen that, I'm happy that when I've seen this come up, I've seen it as coming up as a direct reflection of what we're putting out that we're wanting and needing, and this sense of trying to kind of come in and help with that. So, yeah, any last information? I know I said that was going to be the last one, but any last information on like that idea of something non-physical coming in a non-harmful way as a result of what we're kind of asking and begging for? What might we be able to see or know from that to know that something has come. Like, you know, if it's not something physical, how will we know it has arrived or whatever? You know what I mean? I'll just get a quick thing on that. How will we know that that has arrived? Okay. This card comes up for me anytime I'm talking about meditation and stuff like that, going within, soul searching, all of that. So in any kind of way, if we are able to meditate, to attune to different wavelengths, frequencies, channel, higher consciousness, whatever, if we're able to dial ourselves in that kind of a way, then we are able to notice it more some kind of a way. Kind of like when you're asking, hey guides, show me some signs. If you're like, yeah, they're never going to show me signs, and so you don't believe it and you don't have your eyes open for it, you may never catch anything. But if you're like, oh guides, please send me some signs on this and that and the other, and you have an open mind about the fact that you may see something, you may be going around and being like, you know, oh, I noticed this, just like when we were filming here and I just happened to look down and see the 1111 on the video, like timeline ticker tape or whatever you call it. Like that, things like that. If you're open-minded about it and you start kind of noticing things, then you may notice like, oh, I see what's happening here. I see some signs of this, you know, presence or help or whatever, assistance coming through. Same with the King of Swords. This is a mental clarity card. This is a consciousness card. So it could be that we might be able to, within ourselves, feel, sense, or see a change in consciousness in 2026 or 2027. And then we may start to see in others a shift in consciousness as well. There might be some people coming around that before they were, you know, stuck in some kind of a certain view, and now they're kind of opening up, coming around. It could be seeing people kind of wake up to certain things. It could be seeing people trying to come together after feeling too divided and, you know, too pit against each other, being like, no, I'm going to come together instead. It can be some sort of a reunification and raising of consciousness, something that these seeds have been planted for a while. People have been investing in this for a while, but seeing like, hey, we planted these seeds, we've been investing in this for a while, we're starting to see them bloom. We're starting to see this come to fruition. We're starting to see the fruits of our labors being able to be picked here. There's something here. It might start as small, it might start as energetic, but if we're looking for this and we dial in and tune in, being like, I want to be a part of this elevated frequency, this elevated consciousness, this you know, broader sense of unity, this healing energy, I want to be a part of this, I want to see it, then intentionally do things to help put yourself there. You know, live in a way that you're putting yourself there. Think in a way that you're putting yourself there. Love and feel in a way that you're putting yourself there. And we might be able to attune to that and be able to see more clearly what that is and what that's going to bring in and how that exactly looks. So there's going to be a lot of it in a mental way, but some in a physical way as well. So this has been a very interesting reading. I was going to call it Alien Disclosure Reading, but now I need to think of a new name because it has gone kind of beyond that. I will have to think on that and get that posted. So, anywho, y'all let me know what you think about all of this, and thank you for bearing with me for the fact that it's been about a week again since I have posted. I swear it sounds like, you know, the last 3 videos I keep coming on with an excuse. But first, my therapist passed away that I told you about. You know, y'all know therapists have therapists all the time. It just makes for better therapists if you have someone to caretake you as you're caretaking other people. Just like doctors have to go see doctors and dentists need to go to the dentist and, you know, stuff like that. So, first my therapist had died, and of course you're sad about someone dying. So who do you want to go talk to? Your therapist, but you can't because it was her that died, you know, things like that. And then just yesterday, I went to my Aunt Saritha's funeral. So my daddy's sister passed away. He died, you know, 4 years ago, and now she passed. So it's like, damn, I can't win for losing. So here I am filming on my birthday, trying to get my shit together and catch up so that I can get a video out to y'all, because I'm so sorry that everything just kind of keeps happening, and I'm just trying to, roll with it the best I can. But one nice thing or I thought it was nice, was that whenever I found out that my aunt had passed away, I was like, Daddy, you better came and got her. I know I tell you all the time when it's my turn, you need to come and get me, but you better came and got her. And then I turned on the radio, and there were some lyrics playing on the song. And I don't even know what song it was, but I heard the lyrics that said something like, hold my hand and I'll take you into forever, or something along those lines. And I was like, he got her. So I don't want to get choked up. It's been a tough few weeks. Sorry. Try not to be bummed out right now, and try not to take down the mood. So anywho, it's been a tough time. I appreciate y'all for bearing with me. Thank y'all for being as ride or die as you are. Gonna get through it. Loss is hard. You do what you can. Things change over time and get a little bit easier some kind of a way. You learn to live with the loss and stuff like that. And so I know that I will. I know that, that's what we do, is continually work towards resilience and acceptance and growth and understanding and all of that kind of stuff. But thank y'all for being gentle on me as I've been going through these things. And thank y'all for being with me as we did a really wild reading today. And I appreciate y'all more than y'all could know. When I say love you, mean it. I really, really do. And as always, let's finish this video with some B-rolls here so we can have some dumbass puppy shenanigans, because I tell you what, that always raises it for me. That makes me smile, that makes me laugh, it makes me roll my eyes, it does all those kind of things, and I feel like it's a good way to be uplifting after some wonky wild rides that we have here on the channel. So stay tuned for some puppy shenanigans here to lift your spirits, make you laugh, make you smile, and I will see you on the next one. So don't be a stranger, come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. Bye, y'all. Oh my goodness. We all found our cousin. We love her so much. Oh, we're doing puppy play date. Yeah, puppy play date. Good pee-pee. Very good.
Not don't pee everyone.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Good pee-pee. Walking pee-pees.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, the walking pee-pees.